Hey, everybody, welcome back. HSC Podcast starting in season 6, episode 1. We're back from summer vacation, back from Hawaii for the big smooth. I'm back from Hawaii. So we all had a good summer vacation, took a couple weeks off, get back into season 6. So we're in episode 116. So thanks for listening. And yeah, we're gonna get into it today. Got Big Box Steve on the mic, got the Big Smooth and Fresh Wes. Here we go. Got the whole group. So tonight we're gonna give you a couple top fives. We are getting into football season, so that's where we go from here, right? It's football, football, football for the next 3, 4 months, right?
Yep.
Maybe more. But before we get into before we just jump in right into football, um, let's just talk about Hawaii for a second, since we both just went there. People listening, is it a good vacation? Like, it's expensive, but Derek, tell us how you feel about the vacation in general. How was Hawaii?
Oh, I loved Hawaii. It's different for me because you went to like Waikiki, Honolulu. I was in Maui and I stayed in Kihei. Sadly enough, it was the 1 year anniversary of the Lahaina fires while we were there. And I think that's where the tourism has gone down because Lahaina is very touristy. I've always liked Kihei because it's more low key. They got, a food land. You can go. We have a timeshare, so it's more like relaxing, and that's what I like. We went to the beach or the pool every day, so that's what I like. I like two types of vacations. I like the ones where you can just relax, and then I like the ones where you're on a mission to do stuff. And this was a great Maui's a great place to just relax and go to so many beaches in Maui. And it's not really, I, because I hate people, it's not really as um claustrophobic of
Yeah.
tons of people. There's a lot more room there in Maui than I feel like there is in Honolulu.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, Waikiki is, we saw it as like the Vegas. Like, it's like Vegas West, right? Because there's a ton of people. It's packed all the time. It's busy and go, go, go. So that was our experience in Waikiki. Was it? And Holly hates people too. So you guys are on the same playing field there. But I don't mind it as much because I like I do like when it gets a little busy and there's a lot happening, and I do like that, but I would like to uh, go to Maui and do that. So for the average person, though, cost wise, I felt like this is an expensive vacation.
Right. Well, because we talked about it earlier, both of us had family members with timeshares, and that's a huge deal because like my wife Caitlin was looking up like, oh, what if we just came back for the three of us? And she was looking up neighboring places, and it's like a minimum of like $400 a night.
Jeez. Yeah, so that's not. I mean, I guess when you think about it, you can go to Mexico, you can go to the Caribbean. Like, there's a lot of other options, for vacations. And Hawaii, to me, it's great. I loved it. It was fun, but the cost versus what you're getting, I don't know that's the best for the average, person out there.
Right. Well,
So,
like we did like, for dinners, the two meals that we did like a full dinner, were both happy hours. And it was still like
right.
$150 for those. We saw like this one place me and Kaylin went to for a date night. Um, we spent like 150 on happy hour, but like you would be spending 500 for if you did dinner.
Right.
And we saw like a family of 4 going in there with like the kids are like, there's no kids menu, and the kids are like 8 and 10, and I'm like, are you kidding me? There's no way I could take my
They're
son.
probably like $400, $500 deep.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know that's it's not cost effective. There is so the one advantage, and I've traveled a lot of places, it's still a little bit more United States than it is, foreign country. You feel safer, you feel more comfortable. So there's a little bit about that about Hawaii, which it's not like going to Mexico or, Costa Rica or Brazil or something like that where you're not as comfortable. So it's expensive, but you still feel like you're still in the United States.
right.
So good stuff there. Talk about that. Just give you guys a little heads up where you go on your next vacation. But tonight we're gonna get into two top fives. We'll get into that later. Um, we're gonna talk a lot of NFL, and later we're gonna go with our like division winners, Super Bowl playoff teams, and all that. And we'll do that in the next couple episodes. For now, we're just going to get into football headlines right now, NFL headlines. Biggest one I'm going to talk about is JJ McCarthy. You guys seen this?
Yeah, I
The
saw it this morning.
So is he out for the season or what?
No, no. He
Well, they got to
tore.
scope him first, right?
Yeah, it sounds like he tore his meniscus. So usually that's probably about 6 weeks. So 6 to 8 weeks. So he could be back during the season, depending on. I mean, it sounds like it's not that bad. They're going to scope it. So I don't think it's a huge deal.
Yeah, for me it's huge because, I drafted him in my dynasty fantasy football. Him and Tyrone Tracy, who also got carted off with a knee injury.
Well, maybe this is a Friday night lights thing. Maybe you should just go out there and play, dude. You risk
Well,
it. Risk it like
JJ McCarthy I'm okay. He's more for the future. So I'm okay if he sits out this season. I just need to be able to open up this roster spot for him, put him on my IR, but they need to like hurry that up so I can look for
well,
diamonds
I'll
in the
send him
rough.
an email.
Yeah.
I mean, he could be out for the season, depending on once they do the actual, scope and figure out what's happening. It could be a season-ending injury. What does that mean for the Vikings? And I don't know that he was the number one anyway, but how does that affect the Vikings season?
I don't think it does. I thought Darnold was just McCarthy might come in, but if
Yeah,
McCarthy came in, it was because the Vikings were garbage, right?
he
I
would
thought
have.
they were going to sit him. And, Darnold looked pretty good in his first appearance against the Raiders defense. So who knows? But I I just feel like this is a mulligan year for them.
So it may not even matter that, yeah, that JJ's not playing anyway.
No.
It's not
Him and
like they're
Drake May shouldn't play at all this year.
definitely Drake May. Drake May's gonna get killed, and he doesn't have the weapons. And if you look at the odds, you have Carolina has the worst odds to go to the Super Bowl, which that's a no-brainer, and New England is next.
Right.
That tells you what everyone thinks about New England. So there's no way they should play Drake May at least the first half of the season. You know,
What's the benefit for them not playing Drake May?
He doesn't get killed, and then his confidence doesn't get ruined.
yeah, you know, it, what's the? I mean, he's gonna play eventually. He should play like later in the season because you still have to. You know, I don't care if he's a third pick or not. There's been a lot of third picks in the draft that were quarterbacks that weren't very good. You got to figure out if he can play early. But the first week, what's the point? You're gonna suck anyways. You have these people on there's that dude, Pat McAfee show. He's a huge New England guy. Oh man, New England look good. Are you kidding me? It's preseason. Like, yeah, they look good for 4th place in the AFC East unless the Jets really implode. I'll just do a little preview of my division winners right now. So just saying.
we want to get into that. Well, let's get to the headlines and then we'll talk about the divisions. So no effect from McCarthy. It doesn't matter. Sam Darnold plays. If he doesn't come back, no big deal. Does that hurt his JJ's development though?
Well, yeah, I mean, it will because he won't get practice reps in.
Yeah.
But he will be studying in the playbooks and all that stuff. I mean, everyone remember, Patrick Mahomes didn't play his first season, and look how he turned out. So,
did he have game reps at all?
Mahomes?
Yeah,
I don't think so. Maybe not until the last game of the season. I can't remember.
I don't think he did, and if he did, it wasn't very many.
Yeah.
They were prepping him. They had a plan. I mean, when they drafted him, they definitely had a plan because everyone's like, whoa, like 10th pick, Mahomes. It's like.
But Drake May, he'll be playing by week 6.
Yeah,
minimum, right? Like you got to start playing him at some point.
You got to, because you got to. I mean,
you sit him because look what they did to Mac Jones. I mean, and Mac Jones, I know Wes hates him, but Mac Jones was more pro ready than Drake May.
Yeah.
And
I don't hate him. He's not on my all hate team yet. We're going to be all hate team when we get into the season.
Yeah, right. All hate team.
And then
we already know who Derek hates.
And Russell Wilson.
I don't hate Russell Wilson. I just say he was overpaid.
Well, now he's a Bronco, so you have more reason to hate him.
No, he's not anymore. He's a Steeler.
Well, he was a Bronco.
Yeah. I just thought that was the dumbest trade. And I was happy the Broncos made that trade. And look how it worked out. I guess I was right about that.
So, next headline, I'm going to kind of tie these two together. Does it hurt these teams for guys like CeeDee Lamb and Jamar Chase to sit out at this time? And then both of them are talking about contracts, right? They're both actually looking at different new contracts. They both want new contracts. But does it hurt the team for them not to be in camp, not to practice together? How does that affect? Because you have two big receivers and just receivers in general. If it's your biggest receiver, should they be in camp? How does that affect the team?
I think it's two different situations because Chase is just doing all business, but it's personal for Lamb now. I mean, seriously, they came out and the Cowboys are worth $10 billion.
Yeah.
But you know what? They spent $16 million in free agency. And they've got Dak Prescott, Micah Parsons, and CeeDee Lamb to pay. Why are you guys so stupid? Maybe that's why Dallas is always where they're at. They can make lots of money, but you know what? They suck at football.
Yeah.
How stupid it's this. They did the same thing with Dak already. We're going to wait to pay him. And then they had to pay him a lot more money because you know what? Whoever quarterback is up, that quarterback gets paid. It doesn't matter how good. We saw it with Tua. Same thing with Lamb. Dude, A.J. Brown got paid. All these guys are getting paid. You better pay CeeDee Lamb or else then the market is going to show that he's going to need more money.
Well, I mean, yeah, DJ Moore just got paid.
Yeah.
He wears number 88 for a reason, even though I don't really think that he's in that level of a Michael Irvin or Drew Pearson yet. But that's your guy. I mean, everyone knows that Dak might not be there next year. So you're going to have to still have a nucleus, and he's your nucleus. If you don't pay him, then what's your nucleus? Micah Parsons? I mean, this guy talks so much crap about the Cowboys on his own podcast. Do you think he's going to want to be there if they're going to continue to handle their affairs, their contracts, having Jerry Jones come out and talk? Jerry Jones didn't say a word. He said the other day, well, we really miss CeeDee Lamb at practice. Well, you know what? If you miss him so much, pay him.
Yeah, pay the guy. But how does that affect the team though?
Well, it's like, why work hard? Why work hard? You're not getting appreciated and you're not getting valued.
Hey, what's the problem? I thought they were all in, right? I mean, honestly, Jerry Jones sounds like one of those dolls. You just pull the string. We're all in. 2 weeks after they lose to Green Bay, they get smoked by. You know what? We're all in this time. Well, what about against Green Bay? Where you weren't all in then, and now you're not going to pay your guys, your 3 best players. You're going to have this controversy go on ESPN news cycle 24/7 about the Cowboys not getting paid. Better pay somebody.
Well, look at who the Cowboys' #1 running back is now. You know who it is?
Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah, it's Ezekiel Elliott.
Right
Come
back
on,
to him.
man.
Right back to him.
Yeah.
It's like, can you name the other receivers besides CeeDee Lamb?
Well, you can't. Because they got rid of all the other ones, right?
Yeah, Gallup retired. I think
Yep.
is Jalen Tolbert still there, maybe?
I mean,
I traded
I
Amari
don't know
Cooper.
if we're going to have a conversation about Jalen Tolbert.
Well, he's going to be the #1.
So I guess the big question I have here is, let's just, talk about how the Bears came in, Poles comes down, and he pays DJ Moore right away, right in camp. Is that not a more of a benefit though to the team, to him getting then to play with it throughout training camp? Even if he's not playing preseason games, he's practicing with them, he's part of the team. Why? I guess how does that hurt the Bengals doing the same thing and the Cowboys, where you don't have your star guy involved with the team?
If you're not going to pay him, trade him. Get as much value as you can. Because I think nowadays people are like, I'm not going to risk getting hurt playing for this much. You need to pay me market value. You see it with Ayuk. You're seeing it with Hassan Reddick. You're seeing it with all these guys that are like, I'm not going to risk injury.
Yeah, if one guy, he's not doing it, so why would I do it? I mean, Jamar Chase, look, he's not at practice. Right. Why would I do it? CeeDee's not going to do it. It's just all it is it's just going to continue to these players that that are in their 5th-year options, and players that want their money, they're going to continue just like, what, he's doing it, so I'm going to do it. So why wouldn't I do it? Pay me or trade me.
Yeah, and it's obvious, and some teams have figured that out. I just think when you have players like CeeDee Lamb and Jamar Chase that are the cornerstones of your team, like, you're really hurting your team by not making that decision sooner, right?
Well, yeah, because that's what happens is like you have all these other receivers got paid, and if they would have just paid CeeDee Lamb early on, all these receivers make more money than him, but he would have gotten his money.
And you don't have like the media stuff happening, and not playing in training camp and not practicing with the team, and then all of the question marks around that. It really kind of hurts your team.
Well, and what's the thing that annoys me the most is like we're talking about top 5 wide receivers here.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you pay them?
2 of the best receivers in the league. Like, when you look at Chase and Lamb, there's not much better than them.
Here's the thing is, one of the reasons why I give no hope for the Patriots in the first place is because they don't have one thing, a real stud at wide receiver. Now, you're not going to pay, Cincinnati's not going to pay Chase. CD Lamb's not going to get paid. These guys are done. You can forget about the season. This isn't 1985. Football's not based around running backs anymore. That's why they're not getting paid. So these receivers are going to be the ones that should be getting paid. Now, you're not going to pay running backs. You better pay your receivers, or you're not going to be very good.
Well, it's thing
in San Francisco, you want to win a Super Bowl. You even want to get to a Super Bowl. You better fall on the sword, because without Ayuk, can they get maybe through it? Possibly, but you're not going to be able to trade Ayuk, obviously. So what are you going to do? Is he just going to sit out? Pittsburgh doesn't want him now. Teams are backing out. You kind of almost have to pay him.
Yeah. Well, the rumor with Ayuk, and I know everything's just a rumor, is they're actually getting close. I think they will come to terms.
Yeah.
Because I think John Lynch is not stupid. And he's realized, okay, we better just pay him because we're not going to get anything. We're not getting the number one receiver for him, because that's what they probably wanted. Why doesn't and that's the thing. The Patriots tried to get Ayuk. Hey, Jerry Jones, you don't want to pay CeeDee Lamb, trade him to the Patriots.
Yeah. Well, I also think other teams don't value Ayuk as much as, the hype around him, or maybe even the 49ers value him.
Well, he declined 2 trades.
Yeah.
The Patriots and the Browns.
Yeah.
The Browns are going to give up a Cooper for him with draft picks.
Which that's a good trade.
Yeah, and Ayuk is like, I don't want to go to the Browns, which he does. I mean, come on, it's the Browns.
So how do the receivers we're talking about, how does that compare to, say, like Reddick, right? We talked about Hassan Reddick a little bit earlier because he's in a similar situation. But you're talking, Hassan Reddick's good, so I'm not going to take that away from him. But he's not Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb.
He's had 50 sacks in the last 4 seasons.
Yeah, but still at what's a 10.
I know, but that's a premium position, pass rusher.
Nowadays, the way defenses are, you kind of have to have that one guy that you're not covering. You're going to give up yards. You need a guy that can get to the quarterback sometimes,
So the question is, does Hassan Reddick affect the Jets the same way that CeeDee Lamb and Jamar Chase affect their teams?
Yes, and this is why the Jets are the dumbest organization in the NFL right now. The Eagles, the Eagles are like, Hassan Reddick, you want to get paid? We don't want to pay you. We will trade you to a team. How many times have we seen trades? Like, Brian Burns just got traded, right? What did the Giants do? Gave him an extension right away after most teams, when they're trading for someone who wants to get paid, they sign a deal before the trade happens.
Yeah, they already know it's coming.
So what do the Jets do? They don't even try. And then they go out, and Hassan Reddick has already said, I want to get paid. And that's why the Eagles traded him. So the Jets are like, well, he's not coming to camp. And I'm like, he said he wants to get paid.
Douglas came out with a statement just like a couple hours ago saying, well, you know what? He's going to get fined so much every day if he doesn't show up. Oh, that's really going to make things great.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to fine the dude? Like, what a bunch of idiots.
And then you got Sauce Gardner and stuff are going to be like, oh, do I want to be on this team?
Right.
Aaron Rodgers goes to Egypt for God knows what, right? Oh, that's not a big deal. He's got a book out. Like, all he does is talk. And Hassan Reddick's he's probably sick of it. He's like, I come here. It's all about Aaron Rodgers. The locker room, there's problems in the locker room. It's like, okay, I just want to get paid. Oh, sorry, we're going to fine you every day that you don't show up. They're imbeciles.
I agree with your thought process there, Derek, because I think other players see that, right? And you're setting a precedent for what their future might look like.
Right. I mean, how many times I know like the Bears couldn't re-sign Sweat until the end of the season,
Yeah.
but they did.
Yeah.
And how
Well,
many other trades have we seen where it was like, okay, blah blah blah, we're trading for this guy, and then all of a sudden, oh, and here's your extension.
well, and also, I see what Wes is saying because Rodgers is dominating the spotlight over there versus, understanding like what's good for your team. Like
Right.
you gotta make sure that you're putting together a squad that is cohesive. And
Yeah,
if Rogers taking all the spotlight and you're not signing Reddick and you're creating this animosity around your team, that's not good. It's not good for your season.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah. So Reddick has had 12 and a half, 11, 16, and 11 in the last
Right.
4 years.
Yeah, and 16, that's good.
yeah.
So, I mean, those are some big highlights coming out. I think that Reddick, no, not yeah, JJ Reddick, JJ McCarthy, that's a big thing. It's interesting to see that. I don't want to really get into our picks too much because we're gonna have a whole episode on who we're picking to win divisions, who's going to the playoffs, like we do every year. Speaking of the teams we've just talked about, though, does that hurt? How does that affect them in their divisions? Does this affect them? Where do you look at maybe the Charge or the Bengals, maybe the Cowboys, maybe the Jets might not finish as well because some of these stars are in these situations?
Well, I think the Cowboys are gonna fall because I just don't think they're gonna go back down to their 8-8, 9-8. I don't think they could keep it up because you got now, Dax in his last year. You got CeeDee Lamb disgruntled. Micah Parsons isn't paid. They only, I mean, they Ezekiel Elliott they signed as a running back. They only spent 16 million in free agency.
Yeah.
That's just that right there is a shame. You making 10 billion a year and you can't even. And that's when I feel bad, kind of, because they're a bunch of jerks. But feel bad for Cowboy fan because it's like every year you think you're going to be good,
Yeah.
and it's like that's fool's gold. Because Jerry Jones was just like, ha ha ha, here, just give me your money.
Well, yeah, it's like, they have their practices and fans can come, watch their practices, and I guess fans aren't really showing up to Cowboys practices, and I think even Dak Prescott made a comment like, why, you're either with us or you're not with us. It's like, well, I mean, if I'm a Cowboy fan, just like being, I guess, a Raider person, you guys don't care about winning. You all care about your social media presence, your freaking contracts, your stupid commercials. You don't care about winning. We pay money, we pay for tickets to go watch you guys win and you lose. So we're gonna stop paying money for your stupid jerseys in your games. Shit, we want to watch you on TV. It's like they don't care, and fans just get sick of it.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
saw uh and I'm not a big fan of ESPN anymore, watching it too much because they're kind of off the rails these days. But it was a good point of what you're just saying is like they're more involved in social media than they are involved in signing CD Lamb. Like why are you more worried about what's happening in social media than signing your best receiver, a top 5 receiver in the league?
Well, to the same point about social media, the Hassan Reddick, he put out, on Twitter that he requesting a trade. 39 minutes later, Wes, is when they sent that notice. 39 minutes, and it was on a letterhead and all this. And people are like, how did they get that? They must have had it prepared for
Right.
a long time, just waiting to send this out.
Yeah.
But the same thing with Dallas, but on the opposite end is the Bengals. They're like one of the cheapest franchises in the NFL. And everyone was like, oh, Joe Burrow going to the Bengals. They're cheap. Da 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 da. They didn't pay Carson Palmer. Well, they paid Joe Burrow. And then we're like, oh, maybe they care now. Nah, they don't. They didn't pay T. Higgins. They're jerking around Jamar Chase now. You have a window. I think people don't realize the windows. And when the Bengals window's closing, I don't know if they're going to be that good this year.
Yeah, the competition is getting, teams are getting better. They're getting better, and their window is getting it's shut.
You're in one of the toughest divisions in football, and you're gonna cause this, turmoil in your team around signing Jamar Chase. I think that's a bad decision.
And here, you might have talk about philosophies throughout. I mean, we'll talk about throughout the year is this is a different NFL, and you better get used to the idea. You have to pay your playmakers. I mean, basically back in the day, I remember T.O. It's like he's such a headache, but he's so good. These guys aren't even mouthy. These guys aren't even a problem. I mean, Jamar Chase goes out and balls. CeeDee Lamb goes out. These guys ball. Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
And it's like everyone's like, they don't want to pay him. It's like, pay them, pay your quarterback, and then, just get them young on defense. Get them young and hungry. You're not going to be able to pay your stars. So, you're going to have to trade them, your defensive players. You got to get used to that idea because you have to pay your receivers.
Right.
That's number one.
Yeah, I think it's to me, honestly, when I look at these and I'm watching these two things, I think you're a detriment to your team when you're playing this game, whatever game they're playing, of when you're especially talking about, two really great receivers. And I don't understand why you'd want to hurt your team when both of these teams, Cowboys and the Bengals, they're competitive in their divisions, or can be. And every little thing you do makes you a little less competitive. Because you're right on the edge, Like, if you just lose a little bit of that edge, now you don't make the playoffs.
Yeah, well, I think most of these guys, they're going to get paid the next week or two, or right at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Especially Chase. You don't have a choice. You have to pay.
I'm just not a big fan of that, though. Like, that's why.
It's why wait.
Right. Like,
exactly. That's what they do, though. It's stupid. But you know what? They're going to, and why would you wait? What's the point? What are you going to do? You think they're going to say, no, you know what? I'll just come back and I'll take less money. Because no, they're not going to do it.
Well, it's like, obviously not because I'm a Bears fan, but I think Poles did a really good thing in the first week of camp by pulling DJ Moore out, signing him to the contract and re-signing him, then sending him back into practice. And guess what everybody wanted to know, dude? Like, where were you? And he's like, I was just, inking a $100 million deal.
All right.
And
then Allen's like, what about me, man?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see what you do. But even Keenan Allen was happy for him. You see him down on the field, talking about it. So I think it's a detriment to their team, and that's kind of one of the things I talk about. And so, lastly, with what we're talking about NFL right now, when you think about the signing of players but also now you look at rookies. There's a lot of good rookie quarterbacks that were taken in this draft, right?
Maybe. We don't know yet.
Well, I mean, we don't know yet, but more high draft picks than we've seen
Right.
in the longest time.
I'll say this 50% will probably fail.
Well, who are the starters is what I want to know. Of the rookies that were drafted, who are the starters? And maybe even if we'll call by week 2 or 3 they're starting, we'll call them starters. So think about the rookie quarterbacks who are taken. We'll give them till week 3. We'll call them a starter. What's your list?
I think it's half of them. I think it's Caleb, it's Jaden, and it's Bo Nix.
So Caleb, by week 3, those are the only 3 starting.
I think so. Well, JJ might not be playing. Definitely won't be Penix. And I don't know. If I was the Patriots, I'd hold off because Drake May's going to get killed.
Okay, so you got 3 of them. I think JJ, in my opinion, would have been starting by week 3, but with the injury, obviously not. I agree. Caleb, Jaden Daniels. I think Drake May will be starting. So I'm going to go with 4 of them. I'm going to go Nix, Drake May, Daniels, and Caleb. What do you got, Wes?
Yeah, same. I mean, it's going to be Jaden for sure. It's going to be Caleb. I think Bo Nix will start. I don't think Drake May will start. No.
So you're going with the 3. You're going with Nix,
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels, and
They could start Stidham, but what's the point? Nix looks good. He looks ready. I mean, you got to put him out there. You might as well put him out. He's experienced. He played. He's old for a rookie. You know, he's not young for a rookie. Played a lot of college football. Put him out there.
yeah, he's got a lot of game experience, and Sean Payton likes him.
Yeah,
He's came out a lot of times talking about him.
I think the Patriots know the season is not going to be a good one.
Yeah.
And so I think that they're just going to hold on Drake May, get more weapons, get more offensive linemen next year, and let Jacoby Brissett get killed. Isn't it Jacoby Brissett? Isn't that who they got?
I think it is.
They're like, bring him back.
Wait, did he go? He went back to the Patriots?
I think so.
Yeah, he did.
Huh. Okay.
I haven't looked their depth chart yet.
Well, I mean, Brissett's not terrible.
No, I mean they should go 4-13. I mean
Yeah.
they'll win 4 games, 5 games maybe.
They still got Bailey Zappi too, right?
Well, yeah, they had Zappy, so it's a battle between Zappy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it does because you're gonna have those first few games where you figure out what your team is, and if you just realize your team's horrible, yeah, then maybe you do like sit him till week 7 or 8, and then start trying to get him some playing time.
Yeah. Yeah, get him. I mean, he's going to have to play at some point.
Yeah, he's got to get some experience. You got to get some gameplay in the first season.
And the difference between Knicks and that situation and the Patriots is the fact that Sean Payton doesn't have time to wait around. He can't sit there and say, well, let's just nursemaid him, throughout the season. We're not going to be that good anyways. They could still be a playoff team. And honestly, I think he needs to be at least a playoff team because, last season was pretty terrible for him.
Well, he's under the gun for sure.
It was a bad look last season. It's like they need to make progress. New England's going to suck. They got a 37-year-old head coach. He's never been a head coach. You don't even know he's going to be the guy going forward. So it's like Sean Payton has to start Knicks early.
Yeah, what do you guys think of that hire? Like,
You know,
I guess he's been with the organization, right? A long time, and
yeah,
he's been around the team, but
he's a disciple that helps, but he's young and there's no expectations, and that's what they want.
Right.
It's like it's not fair to him following Bill Belichick, just like it's not fair to follow Tom Brady, you know.
I don't know. I thought that was
You know,
it was a little bit of weird hire for me.
oh yeah, but
He's a yes man to Robert Kraft.
Right.
Because before, that's what happened is Belichick was like that. This is my team. I control anything. And you know how owners get? They want to get handsy. And that's what happened. Belichick and Kraft didn't get along. Kraft is the one that forced Belichick to trade Garoppolo because Brady, and their friendship got ruined because Kraft started meddling. And so what did Kraft want? He's the owner, so what ifs? He gets someone who will just say yes to what he wants.
Which really isn't good for a football team because the owners don't know anything.
Right, but I mean, Kraft, I think, is also though smart enough. He's not like a Tepper or whatever. He's going to have patience, and he knows that it's going to take a few years. Also, that's the thing with the difference between May and Nix is Nix has Sean Payton, who's an quote unquote offensive guru. There's no offensive guru for Drake May.
No.
So,
Well, your head coach is a linebacker.
yeah, exactly. That's why I'm always kind of against drafting quarterbacks early with defensive minded head coaches, unless you've got a brilliant offensive mind on your staff.
Yeah. Well, CJ Stroud, made it work
Yeah.
because, obviously D'Amico Ryans came from defensive coordinator, one of the greatest, well, not greatest, but a great linebacker, to coach to defensive coordinator. And then there's a lot of that, which surrounding those quarterbacks with the right people, though. I don't think Stroud would have been nearly as good on a lot of different teams. He had a really good uh, set of young receivers, decent tight end.
Well, that's the thing is, well, Stroud has Bobby Slowick as his OC. That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying. Slowick he was the passing game coordinator for the Niners.
right.
So he comes from the Shanahan offensive coaching tree. And so that's actually, he's got the offensive pedigree. Who is the Patriots OC is the question.
I don't know who they're because they just
Alex Van Pelt.
the quarterback.
yeah, he sounds familiar.
Yeah, and he was,
At least he used to be a quarterback.
yeah, he was offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach for Cleveland Browns, though. Their offense wasn't very good.
Yeah, but he actually played quarterback in the NFL.
What did Bobby Slowick do? Dang, he's only 37. So Slowick is a youngster. He's just been around. Oh my gosh. So he's just a career head coach. He graduated from college in 2009 and started as a defensive assistant in 2011. So he's done it all. He was with the Commanders, I think probably back when it was Shanahan and when they had all those great offensive minds there.
Right. They had
The Dolphins coach, and they had Sean McVay.
Sean McVay and yeah, what's his name? The
What
mad
was
scientist, dude. What's that guy's name? What's the Dolphins coach's name?
Gosh, I
Oh,
can't.
Mike McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel.
Yeah,
Yes.
they were all there together. Well,
Yeah.
with a LaFleur too.
Right. Matt LaFleur.
Yeah. So I mean, he was around a ton of offensive minds. And that's what you got to do. I mean, if you got a young quarterback, I mean, who did the Bears? Oh, the Bears got who'd they get as their OC? Didn't they get someone good?
Yeah. What's his
Oh, Shane Waldron.
Shane Waldron. Yeah. Yeah. He's not, well, he's good. He's all right.
And then what? And then the Commanders got Kingsbury, right?
Right. Cliff Kingsbury. Right.
And then the Vikings have O'Connell as their head coach.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how Waldron does for the Bears. Um, okay. We'll wrap up then with last topic then, because I do want to hear, let's talk a little Caleb Williams. He's obviously the talk of the town. We haven't seen a lot of him yet. Preseason game, he only played a series or two, not even. But he threw some good balls. What do you guys think? Like, is he set up for success? Like, do you think like he's gonna do well? Like, what's your guys' thoughts?
And of all the rookies, he's set up for the most success. Come on. How many rookies come into a situation where you have Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, and a Dunze, and Cole Kmet, and DeAndre Swift?
Right. But what about him in general? Like, he's got a ton of weapons. At this point, like, what do you think? Is he set up to maybe have a CJ Stroud type season?
He should. It just will depend. That's the thing is, it will be depend on Eberflus if he like holds them back, holds the reins back, or lets them go. You know what I'm saying? If they're like coming out and doing 2 yard screens the entire game, or like 5 yard outs, it's gonna be a long season. But if they were going to go, let's see what you got and let him go, it might be good.
Oh, you got to open up the offense. I mean, you're paying guys. You just paid DJ Moore. You got Kean Allen. You got two really good tight ends. You got Swift. Like, you should be a playoff team. I don't care. They should be a wild card team. And if they're an auto wild card team, depending on
That's a failure.
well, kind of. He's got to hold on to the ball. He had a problem USC fumbling the ball, and it's because he runs around too much. He's sometimes undisciplined, and he tries to do too much sometimes. He has to not do that because he has other guys that can do that. You got to
He's
get
reckless.
He's reckless.
What's okay? Over under right now. Caleb breaks the 4,000-yard mark for the first time for the
He
Bears.
should.
Over
Yes.
under. Over under.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Over.
You're going over?
Oh, yeah.
Going over. Steve is gonna be like drinking and up, celebrating.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be happy, but I don't know. It's tough. I'd love to see it go over. And man, I think I could go over with those receivers.
Yeah.
But that's tough. It's tough because, historically, you're talking about a team who obviously has never had a 4,000-yard passer. It does come down to Eberflus. I think that's probably the best point, I heard was is a fine line between holding him back and letting him loose, and where does that development lie? Because at some point you got to just let him play. and he has the skills. Like he's a little bit like number 15. Like when you watch him, he's got those weird throws on the run and the sidearms and he can put a ball on the run anywhere he needs to.
There were 10 quarterbacks. And remember, there's one more game this now. So it's
Right.
a lot easier.
Yeah.
10 quarterbacks did 4,000 yards last year. Almost 12, but Stafford was 35 yards short and he missed 2 games.
Yeah.
And Sam Howell was 54 yards short. And
Sam Howell, yeah, you better get 4,000 yards. If Sam Howell can do it, with limited weapons, like he don't have the weapons that they have.
Yeah.
I mean, Keenan Allen, you have Keenan Allen, and he's maybe not your first option. He's not your down the field option. I mean, yeah,
Oh, dude.
easily.
Look, dude, by mid-season, Ndunze will be might be your number one option.
He might be right now. It's just we haven't seen anything yet. But
I've watched a lot of their training camp, and he's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. No.
So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah. Sam Howell did, though, have 612 attempts.
Oh, dude, he was leading the league in passing after like the first 6 weeks, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Sam
All
Howell.
right, so we're gonna have a lot more football. We're gonna so tune in for our playoff teams, our division winners, our Super Bowl pick preseason. I know last year wasn't the best year for us, but we've had good years previously. Still didn't do terrible last year, but last year was a little quirky. So tune in for that. We'll have those in the next couple weeks. Talk fantasy football. But tonight we're going to get into a couple good top fives. And in honor of the Olympics finishing up, let's start with our Olympics top five. So just to be clear, we're talking about our top 5 favorite Olympic athletes.
Not top 5 best.
No, just our favorite. Because I was trying to explain that to Holly. I was like, it's favorite. It's not the best. It's like who we liked. It's our favorites.
Right. There's a few. I tried not to. I actually only put 2 USA because I wanted to be actually different. I could have just gone 5 USA, but and then some of them were left off because they were too good, or I figured you guys would put them on. So,
well, okay, here we go. So HSC top 5 favorite 2024 Olympic athletes. Let's start it off. Number 5. Derek, why don't you start us off?
Okay. Number 5. Now, granted, this was, we're in Hawaii, but, the Peacock app was awesome because every night after dinner, we would watch about an hour of Olympics. So we got a little flavor of everything. And it's going to be on the app until December. So I'm thinking I'm going to be watching something up until I finish everything, every sport. But my number 5 athlete from the Netherlands is Famke Bol.
Oh, that was cool. Yeah.
She got a silver in the 4x400 relay women's, the bronze in the 400-meter hurdles, and the gold in the 4x400 relay mix because she came back and smoked the Americans at the end.
Yeah. That was watching the end of that was amazing. That comeback from she was like in like 4th or 5th place. And only with like maybe like 60 meters left, maybe less. That was pretty cool to watch. So that's a really good one. All right, number 5, Wes, what do you got?
Oh, I got, well, this is tough. I don't know. I got Grant Fisher, uh, men's 10,000 meter. He took the silver. He's the first American in like 40 years, or no, since 1982, yeah, 40 years to even medal.
Right.
And I was watching the whole race, and it's just like he was around fourth, third. I was like, he's not going to hold up. He's not going to hold up. He ended up like finishing second. Like he just kind of kicked it into another gear. And it was pretty impressive.
Well, man, and that's kind of an amazing thing, right?
Yeah.
In that distance, like, Americans haven't historically been great, obviously, and even back then, you have one or two. So, yeah, that's a good one. And I think it's like when you watch it happen, it makes it a little more exciting, right? That becomes one of your favorites. So I struggled back and forth with number 5, and I'm just gonna put my number 5 in there is Ray Gun,
Okay.
the
Oh,
Australian breakdancer,
so bad.
because it is
What?
so bad, dude. Have you seen it?
Oh, watched it before
Right,
memes came out about it, and I was,
dude.
what? She is horrible because she went up
It,
against the U.S. first.
it's so horrible and it's so bad, but like it's just I can't stop watching it because it's
There's,
hilarious.
have you seen the one where it's like Seinfeld talking
Yeah, with the
about
Elaine
Elaine
dancing, dude. I
dancing?
was trying to explain that to Holly because she doesn't watch Seinfeld, and I was like, "This is the best." Like, it's not really a meme, but it's like a dual screen, and
Oh, it's
it's horrible, right? It's not good, and she
oh,
didn't do good. She's like the worst, but it was one of my favorite parts of the Olympics, just because it's so funny,
it was
it's
like
so bad.
there was one. Have you seen the one
Doing
where
the bunny hop, dude, and like the circling around the ground. I was like, what is even happening?
there's one where she's a backup dancer in the Thriller video?
Oh, dude. Because if you haven't seen it, you have to see it because it's just going to make you laugh. It's great. And with all the crap going on in the world and the Olympics and whatever, it just makes me laugh.
Well, they've shown like her other video, like actually, and she actually is good.
Yeah,
She
she's
does
not
good stuff.
horrible. No, it's not. I'm not going to say she's good. She's not
No, no,
horrible.
like her old stuff, like
I've
not
seen it.
at the
Yeah, yeah.
Olympics. Yeah.
But we know what good break dancers look like. Let's just get it straight.
Well, and then I showed my wife a video and it was from Breakin',
Yeah.
right? And then it was showing the Olympics. And like, dude, the break dancers in 84 and Breakin' were tons better than
Dude,
this.
I saw an 8-year-old break dancing better than anybody in the Olympics. But
That's why
this
it's
was
not
just
coming back.
it was a good relief. It was funny. There's tons of memes. It's great. So I just have to put it in there as it's one of my favorite parts of the Olympics. Like it's just great. It's just funny. So gotta put Ray Gun in there.
Yeah. Now, Wes, you're gonna have to look that one up.
Yeah. You haven't seen it, dude. You're gonna crack up, dude. All right, number 4. Wes, what do you got?
I got Ryan Krauser,
Oh, see,
shot
that's who
put,
I left off.
third third straight Olympic
Yeah,
gold medal in the shot put. He's cool.
From Barlow.
from Barlow.
Um,
He's local.
nope.
Yeah, I had a hard time replacing Ryan Krauser with Ray Gun, but I had to do it. But yeah, Ryan Krauser, dude, it's great. It's awesome to see him, win that many times in a row. It's cool to have a local guy. So that'd be my number one honorable mention. My number four is it's very personal because I love beach volleyball. And Sarah Hughes, even though they didn't win a medal, the way she played and her partner Chang didn't play great, but Sarah Hughes I think is the very similar to Misty May Trainer. She was digging and she was killing like the double every time, like doubles in digs and doubles and kills and just just an athlete, had a lot of heart and I also love beach volleyball. So we're talking favorites like Sarah Hughes. Just I watched all their matches and I just loved watching her play. So I hate to see the fact they didn't win a medal, but um, I think she brings a lot to the sport, and I think that she's going to be a good future for U.S. women's beach volleyball. So
Well, we were spoiled with Misty May Trainer and Carrie Walsh Jennings.
yeah,
Those were amazing. But how about I give it up to Paris? Wasn't the beach volleyball venue like
dude,
awesome?
it's the coolest venue ever, dude. It's like all I wanted to watch was beach volleyball.
Yeah, because it's like, dude, it's like nighttime. The Eiffel
Yeah.
Tower is right there.
That was
Yeah,
amazing. And there's nothing wrong with watching beach volleyball. It's just so fun.
yeah.
So I had to throw Sarah Hughes in there. It's, even though you didn't win a medal, like you played well.
Well, my number four, and this is funny because me and my wife, when we heard like we're watching the Olympics with the family, and then we're like, oh no, not her, because we kept seeing her do well, and that's Canada's Summer McIntosh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She just kept winning. I was like, stop it. Everything it was like Regan Smith was in, Regan Smith, and then it was like Summer McIntosh. I was like, dang it. Yeah, she had the gold for the 400 individual medley, a gold for the 200 medley, gold for the 200 butterfly, and silver for the 400 freestyle. So all around, like doing all different. That's for me. I was just like, oh man, her again.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of good swimmers in general, but female swimming was great this year. Yeah, and McIntosh is tough. But Husky, who I was a very short list of mine, honorable mention. Um, so jump to number three. I have to put Katie Ledecky in there. I mean, she really just became kind of the goat of women swimming this year. And it would be a travesty not to have her on here. And so everybody knows what she's all about and she's been for years, but just to keep doing it Olympic after Olympic, it's not Michael Phelps level, but it's pretty dang close. So I have to put Katie Ledecky in there at number three.
Dang it, Steve.
Yeah.
Katie
Derek took
Ledecky is
mine.
my number three. Just watching her 1500-meter freestyle,
Nobody's even in the screen, dude.
it is crazy. She's almost lapping the last place. Like she finishes and you don't like last place comes like it felt like forever later.
Right.
So yeah, she was so dominant in the 800 and the 1500. It's crazy.
Yeah. And just doesn't look like she's slowing down, and it's crazy. All right, Wes, what do you got at three?
I got, even though she didn't do very good, I got Jake Carey.
Mhm.
She won the bronze in the vault, but She didn't do very well this Olympics, but I've been a fan since she won the gold, the all around in the last Olympics.
Right.
She's from OSU, so
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. That's the thing is like when you're talking about your favorite, it's who you're used
I
to
was
or who you
rooting for
watch.
her, and I was
Right.
rooting for her, and she just didn't do very well. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, she
Well,
got the gold in the not she didn't get the all around in the last Olympics. That was Suni Lee. I think she got the gold for the
oh, in the individual, yeah, the individual.
one of the beam, maybe. I
yeah,
can't remember. But it was she did to get a gold
It
individual.
was a floor.
Floor, yeah,
floor,
which is
right.
amazing.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing, like I hate how people talk down bronze medals
Yeah.
because you still like even a bronze, you're still got third among like the world.
Well, yeah, she's got what 3 golds and a bronze in her
Yeah.
career. That's pretty amazing.
Well, I was just seeing like a lot of this, like everybody they try to say, oh well, we compete with the United States because we have similar golds and but they've got like 40 silvers and 40 bronze. It's like those are still great medals.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with a silver or bronze.
You're not first. If you're not first, you're last, Steve.
I mean, that's true, but at the same time, this is
Well,
the
I will say,
Olympics.
like, it's different. Simone Biles getting a bronze, because you know what I mean. She's on a different level. It's a failure if she doesn't get gold.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say? Because that's how good she is.
Yeah, there's some really high level people, that's for sure. But if I went to the Olympics and I got a bronze, I'd be super happy.
Yeah.
All right, number 2. Where we at, Derek?
Another arch enemy of mine. I like to give my due to arch enemies, and that is Leon Marchand
Yeah.
of France. Every time he came up, I was like, dang it. He won the gold for the 200 backstroke, the 400 individual medley, 200 medley, 200 butterfly, and then got the bronze for the relay. But yeah, 4 golds, and he's still young. He's the competition to Michael Phelps.
Yeah. I just don't like French people.
I know. But
So I
I
purposely
saw
left
so
him
much
off.
of him. It was I just always kept hearing his name.
Oh, he's great. Yeah, I mean, you can't have much better Olympics than he had. Yeah, I mean, he's on Holly's list.
He's in the hometown.
Yeah. But yeah, I just hate French people. So
I see French people.
he did great. What do you got at 2, Wes?
I'm gonna go with Kashane Thompson, sprinter from Jamaica, who competed in the 100 meter against Noah Lyles, and I'm
And won?
watching it. Well, that's the thing. It's like I thought Thompson won, and Lyles wins, and I was like watching that finish like 5 times. But Thompson just so much bigger. I mean, I wish he played for the Raiders, dude. He looked like he
Right.
won. Dude, I mean, he's just big and fast. And you're that big and that fast. So
I hate the rule. I hate the rule. I'm just gonna say it.
yeah,
I hate the rule.
yeah,
Your foot was over the line first, you won.
yeah.
I mean, I get it. It's not the rule, but I don't care, dude. If we're racing somewhere and my foot goes over first, I won. I'm faster. I got there first.
But if you got longer arms, you got longer arms, man.
Well, because they want people to dive and do all the weird things, and so that's that. I get it, but at the
I just
same
couldn't
time,
believe it. They're like, he won. I'm like, it was amazing.
the dude really had a foot or two on him. Just because he wasn't good at leaning, he
Technique.
lost.
It's all technique.
Yeah, his technique wasn't as good, but I agree. yeah, he had a great race. Let's see. My number two is man, it's got to be Novak Djokovic, dude, the Joker. And look, we all know he's great, and he's won a lot, but to win all the Grand Slams and then come and win the gold, that's baller, dude.
On the clay courts too.
Right. You just really just said, look, I'm the greatest tennis player ever. There's no question. I don't think there is any question that there's a greater tennis player than him.
You don't think Federer was?
No. Mm. I mean,
It's close.
not it's not that it's not close, but when you come out and you do that, you're really just making a statement. And it's kind of like a cherry on top of the sundae when you come in and take the gold after, winning all the Grand Slams. So I think he does lead in Grand Slams, I believe, as well, right? Like he's won the most Grand Slams at this point now.
I think, yeah.
Um,
I mean, it's 20 something. That's all I know.
yeah. Yeah, he's got 24.
Yeah.
Let me look here. Who has the most grand?
So, but why you look that up? Like that's my thing is like when I'm looking at my favorite Olympic player, I'm looking at him as dominant in tennis in the the pro tour, and then coming in and just winning also the gold. So
Wow. Okay, so you're right. Djokovic is first. Do you know who's two?
um like somebody old,
No, it's not.
no?
It's recent.
Well, it might be the other guy, the guy from Spain, right?
Rafael Nadal.
Yeah.
Oh, Nadal.
Djokovic
Yeah.
is 24, Nadal is 22,
Yeah,
Federer is
Nadal.
20.
Right.
Yeah.
Because Nadal's got all those French Open
French
wins.
Opens, yes.
Yeah. And Djokovic is not done, dude.
No.
Like he's gonna finish with like 36. So it was pretty amazing to me. And I just love to see that. And actually I enjoyed tennis and so I gotta put him there too. All right, number one. Here we go, Wes.
Steph Curry. Dude, that was amazing. I'm driving. I'm not even watching when they played Serbia and they were down by like 15. I'm like, they're gonna lose. And then thought I saw on my phone, oh man, they actually lost to Serbia. And then I went to somewhere and I saw the highlights of Steph going off against Serbia. And then the gold medal game, he scores 24 points on 8 3-pointers. Scores like 8 points in the last like 3 minutes. And that 3-pointer, like 2 guys in his face fading away. That was just money.
Dude, it was pretty money.
Because I thought they were going to lose some of those games. All they did, because
and then LeBron gets the MVP.
Well, he did play really well early. Like he facilitated. He had some great passes. He had some great plays.
What's up with Jason Tatum not even playing?
Right. That's really weird.
Well, yeah. And did Tatum even talk about that? Did he even talk? It's weird.
He wasn't happy.
No.
Well,
he's talked about how he's like, I don't know if I'm going to come back.
Whatever.
Well, now you've got Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown both pissed off.
Right. Brown doesn't even make it. Tatum doesn't get to play. and they won the championship. But Steph was fun to watch. And you know what I think the most fun, if you've seen a lot of his highlights of him just shooting around in the gym before games and
Yeah.
warming up, dude, when he was doing did you see when he's doing the shots where he would shoot it and it would bounce and
Yep.
then go in?
I couldn't believe it. I was like,
That's
not
amazing, dude. Like, how do you
this,
do that?
this is dumb.
And he did it 3 times in a row.
He did it 3 times in a row?
3 times in a row.
I
He
thought
shoots it bounces, hits the backboard, and then goes in
stupid.
from like half court. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Like, there's something weird about you, man. But
Yeah,
it was pretty amazing to watch him. So my number one, you might not know this name, but you should know. It's Yusuf Dikek. Dikek.
He's a dickhead.
He's the
Oh, is he the gun guy?
shooter from Turkey, bro. And it's
Yeah.
the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life, bro. This guy rolls up, no equipment, shorts and a t-shirt with a gun, and wins a silver medal. People are coming up with like these weird eye things and ear things and like all this equipment, dude. This guy just walks up with a gun and his shorts and a t-shirt. It's like bam, 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 silver.
Hand in his pocket.
Hand in his pocket, dude. It's the best thing I've ever seen, man. I don't think I've ever seen anything in the Olympics as cool as that. And then he wins the silver, shows no emotion, and they're like, "What do you have to say?" And he's like, "I just want my wife to know I want my dog back because they got divorced." He's like, "I just want my dog back." And the memes are like, this dude just went on vacation and won a silver medal, or like Turkey just hired a hitman to come in and win the silver.
Oh yeah, he's from Turkey. Of course he can
It's
shoot.
so good. But just to watch him, dude, up there, no equipment, nothing, just a gun, hand behind your pocket, dude. Hand in your pocket, dude. Like you're just like chilling. It's the most gangster thing you ever will see. And then he wins a silver medal in shooting. It's my number one favorite Olympic moment of all time. It's so good. I mean, it doesn't get better than that, dude. Because he literally did it because like he got divorced with his wife, and she's like, "Because you're not good or not worth anything," and he's like, "Well, I'll show you. I've never practiced, I've never done anything, but I'll go win a gold. I'll win a silver medal." And then they're up there doing the award ceremony. He's just like, "I don't care. Just give me my medal." It's great, man. I read all about his story, but just watching him, because I remember watching it, I was like, what is this guy doing?
But he is a professional shooter.
Yeah, well, but no equipment, no nothing, dude.
Right,
Like,
that
come
was
on.
awesome. But yeah, he hadn't competed since 2014 in the World
Right.
Championships when he won a gold, like 2 golds. But yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite ever Olympic moments.
Yeah,
I
50,
want my dog back. That's the best.
well, plus how many 51-year-olds are you hearing winning medals?
Right. Yeah, it was good. So
And how many, yeah, with no equipment. Yeah, that's what the crazy thing is. Wes, you got to look this up. All these guys have all these special gadget glasses and stuff. And he
well,
just,
because what it does, it like blocks out one of their eye and then
yeah.
gives their other eye better vision so they can like zero in on it. And he's just like up there.
He's in regular glasses going
Right.
out and just hand in his pocket, just like boom, 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 boom.
So good. So good. So that's my favorite ever Olympic moment.
So I'm glad Steve didn't steal my one. That usually happens. My one is because this woman is so dominant that
And we know who it is.
no, you don't. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone.
Yeah.
Her 400 hurdles, she just demolished everyone. Then the 400 relay, she was the third leg, and she gave the U.S. a huge lead. They say that her 400 hurdles is as fast as people run the 400.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't understand why she didn't run the 400, because she probably would have won that too.
Yeah.
Well, if she's running the 400 hurdles as fast as people at the 400, like,
Exactly. She would have got gold in that too.
go get a gold medal.
If you watch the 4x400 relay, she just demolished the competition.
Right. No, and yeah, she had a great Olympics.
She has 7 of the top 10 times for the 100 hurdles.
Yeah, that's really dominant. That's good. That's actually a great number one.
Yeah, because it was, I mean, she was heads above everyone else that was there. Even my number 5, Femik Bowl.
Well, I gotta say, I'm surprised that none of us had Simone Biles.
Right. Well, she did good. I mean, I like Biles before anyone says I don't, or
Because you're
I'm
racist.
just more of a. It's because she does such hard things like no one else can do. But you know what? I'm a traditionalist. I like them to stick landings, and she never sticks any landings ever.
Yeah,
because
it's
she's
just
jumping like 30 feet in the air.
I know she's doing such crazy things.
yeah. It's like
but that's
circus.
like it's. I mean, she fell on the balance beam.
Yeah, but her floor exercise, dude, you can't stick a landing when you just did 8 backflips, you know? It's not 8, but I'm exaggerating.
Well,
but still,
she
it's
didn't
like
get the gold for that either.
yeah.
Here's the thing: it's a choice. You can do 5 and stick the landing. Do you really need to do 8? But here's the thing: they've changed, basically the scoring from what was traditional to this new point system.
Yeah.
So doing 8 and not sticking it is better than doing 5 and sticking it. So why not do 8?
That was the thing. Is
Don't like it.
Lori Hernandez was the one on the broadcast, and she basically said she doesn't like when she does the vault. She doesn't have to stick the landing. She's good no matter what she does because her difficulty is so high.
It is. Well, because the vault is a lot of the scoring is your whatever the difficulty of the vault is. It's like they
Right.
You tell them what vault you're going to do, and then there's a difficulty score of that, and then it's a percentage, right, based on how your finish is. But if your difficulty score is 2 times higher than everybody else's, you don't have to stick the landing.
Right. And that's why, I mean, for me, like the top 5 favorite, it's not anything against her. I think it's her. And what happens with her is we expect it or more.
It's like I hardly watch any gymnast. I didn't really want to because it's just like I like the old school gymnasts. It's different now, and so I watched a little bit, but I didn't really get. And there's no real Russians there, or there's it's like
well, there was that
Russians aren't there at all.
They're not.
There was the one dude.
Are you talking the U.S.
Yeah, what's
pommel
his
horse
name?
guy?
Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
He was cool.
I was gonna put him in my top 5 because I watched that. It was insane. The nerd with the glasses.
Yeah, Holly had him in her top 5.
Yeah, I was gonna put him there.
Yeah, because he was crazy. And like that was the whole thing was
that was
he
pretty
went
cool.
2.5 hours for them, because the men, never are as good as the women in gymnastics.
No,
and for them
the
to
US.
And for them to medal in the team all around, that's a huge win.
They hadn't medaled since '92, I think.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Well,
And
Holly
for him
had Simone
to,
Biles number one because she's a huge Simone Biles fan.
well, I enjoy Simone Biles too, but I just was like more um
Yeah, and she had Katie Ledecky and Ryan Krauser and Leon Machar and Shan, whatever his name is.
she went for all the people that one time were really.
Right.
I did too, but like I also when you're watching some of them like Femi Bowl or Sydney McLaughlin LeBron, they went out and they didn't have as many events, but they dominated when they were.
Well, Bowl was one of the most exciting finishes
Yeah,
that
because
you've
it was
seen
out of nowhere.
in a long time. So, well, and Krauser for me was also he would have been my top five, but I couldn't leave Raygun off. So funny, dude. It's just hilarious. Oh man, that's so good. All right. So that's our top five favorite athletes. And we weren't talking about best. So if you're listening, don't get it twisted.
Right. And just remember in one of the last podcasts, I put Simone Biles in my top five Olympic athletes of
Right.
all time.
For all time. Right. So it wasn't about that. It was just our favorites. So this next top five and this is Wes's one of his top fives. We were talking about this and he wanted to do it. And I gotta tell you, this is the hardest top five we've ever done. This is number I can't think of a harder top five and the time that I had to put in to go through this and then to like make the decisions. And so here's our HSC top five movies that should have won Best Picture, but did not. And there's so many that I had to take off my list. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, I can't believe I'm taking this off my list. So this is a tough one. So Wes, you're gonna have to lead us off here because it's your top five. So you give us number five.
It's too hard. Number five is probably the hardest one because there's so many.
Well,
I
because you
had
got to eliminate the next 10 that you had on your list.
I couldn't do Wolf. I wanted to do Wolf of Wall Street. I
Oh
want to do,
man, I had it. That was right there.
it's like, no, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be like
He's like,
DiCaprio, dude.
you're
I'm not
changing,
leaving.
you're
I'm not
changing,
leaving,
changing last minute.
dude. No. I was gonna do the Aviator. No, Wolf of Wall Street. Dude,
Yeah.
it's so insane. I mean, Scorsese, the performance by DiCaprio, he should have won Best Actor too. I mean,
Oh, dude.
when he's
DiCaprio
crawling
was
around,
so good in that movie.
and
So
12,
let's
12, 12
give
Years a Slave is a good movie, but it should be nominated for Best Picture. But dude, Wolf of Wall Street. I mean, just the performance, the writing, the character actors.
let's give the audience the year and then the winner so they know who we're talking about.
Well, it should be 2014. The winner was 12 Years a Slave.
12 Years a Slave. So Wolf of Wall Street, 2014. Right. No, it was 2013.
Yeah, the
Well, yeah,
2014
2014.
Academy Awards.
Yeah. Yeah, 2013. Wes's number five, Wolf of Wall Street. Winner was 12 Years a Slave. And I agree with that 100%. It's not my top five. It was obviously in my list, but I would take Wolf of Wall Street over 12 Years a Slave as well. So my number five is 1946.
Ooh.
And I don't know if there is a better movie in general, but The Best Years of Our Lives versus It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh,
So I took It's a Wonderful Life at 1946, and I think that should have been the best picture.
no, you're going old. This is, oh, yeah,
It's a Wonderful Life is one of the best movies ever made.
Well, it's still played.
yeah.
Over and over again. You'll see it 50 times in December. Are you going to see The Best Years of Our Lives played?
Never.
Never. So I get it. The best year of their lives at the time, people liked it, but I think 100% It's a Wonderful Life should have is and should have been the best for 1946. And I know a lot of people don't care about 1946, but it was good. All
So
right, Derek.
my criteria was not only what I first took what movies I thought should win Academy Awards. Then I went back and said, okay, well, who won that year?
Right.
Yeah,
To
Same
get
that's what I
thing.
did too. That's what I did too.
So my number 5 is 1981. Chariots of Fire one.
Mhm.
But I'm going Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
That was about my top five too.
It was on my list.
Yeah.
Like no one cares about Chariots of Fire except for the song.
I
Really.
do like Chariots of Fire.
It is good, but I mean, come on, it's Raiders Lost Ark.
Raiders of Lost
Raiders
Ark
of
is
Lost Ark.
better.
If
And
the two were
it's
one, if they
crazy.
were gonna
So here,
Yeah.
let me tell you. Let me tell you. When I was looking at when I had like 28 on my list, right? And then what I was trying to decide was like who's closer and who's further away, right? And Chariots of Fire was closer than to Raiders of the Lost Ark as some of the other ones were to theirs. But that's a great one. I mean, just like give us what is Raiders of the Lost Ark? What makes it great?
Oh, everything about Raiders of the Lost Ark is great. I know lots of people like Last Crusade, but it's my favorite of the Indiana Jones movies.
Oh yeah.
I
Mine
mean,
too.
the beginning where you have Alfred Molina and he's like gonna steal the idol from him, and he's like, and then you have the little guys, and it's the boulder. That's like one of the most iconic scenes, the boulder.
And to me, it's also comparing some of these movies. It's also how the film it stands the test of time, but it's also the picture. It's the magnitude. It's not just the story and the writing. It's the Raiders of the Lost Ark is iconic. Is the way it looks. The feel of it. Where Chariots of Fire has the song. That's all it has. And they're running around, and it's like that's great, but I'll take Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders of the Lost Ark for me is the best Indiana Jones movie.
That's what we both said. Yes.
Yeah. So
it's unanimous.
that's a unanimous decision. So it deserves that. Okay, so what do we got? We're at number 2 or number 4. It's about number 4. I could have put this one higher, but I'm going back to 1977. And it's Star Wars. Like, come on. Like, dude, not that Annie Hall is terrible, because that's who won. But Star Wars was so revolutionary, but it's also a great movie. Everything they did in Star Wars, it keeps you involved, and it's great to watch. It's a great story. And I don't know how you can not pick Star Wars. Like, how does it not win?
Academy doesn't like sci-fi.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is, right? But there's so much good about Star Wars, and I can't believe it didn't win that year because there's not a lot of great movies that year.
Yeah.
No.
So yeah, 77 Star Wars. That's my number 4.
Well, guess what? That's my number 4 also.
Okay.
But because of the whole Star Wars, Annie Hall is not a bad movie. It's a decent movie, but a Best Picture movie? No,
It's not
it's
Best
not a
Picture.
Best Picture. Star Wars is like iconic. Like it's more iconic than Raiders of the Lost Ark, which is
Right.
crazy.
Well, and it's the like when you look at them, when you watch Star Wars, even if you're not focused on the storyline and you look at the way they did, the cinematography and everything back then in 77, it's pretty amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what did Annie Hall do?
I mean, it's well acted. It's great. It's a great screenplay. But again, standing the test of time. Like, there's so many people that have never heard of Annie Hall.
Right.
Like, everybody knows Star Wars. That doesn't mean it's a better picture at the time. But when you look at it, yeah, the cinematography, the special effects. Look at the
That's what I'm
special
talking about,
effects.
dude.
Nobody's ever seen anything like it.
When a simple scene like the Millennium Falcon taken off from Mos Eisley, that's super cool, right?
Except the new version is not cool.
Yeah.
Well,
We
no,
gotta
but I'm
talk about the
saying
new
look
version.
at the
Dude.
old version of Star Wars,
The
and you
original.
watch like the Millennium Falcon taken off from Mos Eisley. You're like, that's really cool for 1977.
Yeah.
So that's a tough one for me. I can't believe it wasn't there. So it's a surprise. All right, Wes, number 4. What do you got?
Dude, I gotta go with Jaws.
Oh,
1975. And even
75.
though this is why it's number 4, because
Whoa,
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest
that's
is
a
such a good
tough
movie.
one, dude.
It's such a good movie, but man, it's such a hard movie to watch. I mean, Jaws, the way it's filmed, the cinematography, the acting, dude, Robert Shaw, he has probably the best monologue, probably top 5 monologues in movie history.
Right.
And the end scenes with the shark and him getting just eaten by the shark, and Richard Dreyfuss is so good. Everybody's and the way it's shot, it's just like little quiet town just goes to hell because of the shark.
This is one of those same ones. It's like the winner is so close to who could beat it. When I was saying what earlier, because One Flew Over the Cuckoo Nest is so good too. But Jaws, if I didn't have to choose a top 5, and you're just saying what's better, Jaws or One Flew Over the Cuckoo Nest, I'd take Jaws.
But of course, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is probably number 2
Yeah.
at best. I mean, at worst, I mean, it's just.
Oh, I still take Jaws all day.
I love One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. But yeah, I mean, Jaws is good, but also, man, that traumatized us for life.
The best thing I've ever seen is that it looks like a drive-in movie, instead of the drive-in, it's a pond and everybody's in floaties
Oh gosh.
and watching Jaws.
Ah.
It's awesome.
I will say, as much as I hate, I hate Nurse Ratchet more.
Right.
So,
Those were too close for me. It was on my list though. It was not on my list, but those were super close. So that was 4 for Wes. So we got 3 for Derek.
yeah. And I'm going 1994 Pulp Fiction.
Oh, really?
Well, Forrest Gump hasn't aged very well. It's not that great. Now, because the sentiment is gone, the Tom Hanks sentiment is gone. I would take Pulp Fiction over Forrest Gump any day of the week.
But you also have Shawshank.
Yeah. Well, who says that's not on the list, Steve?
I'm just
Oh,
saying, dude.
94 was a good year,
Dude, it's a really
and
good.
the wrong movie won.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a tough one. You can have a
Well,
big argument with Holly.
Pulp Fiction, no one had ever seen a movie like that before, though.
Right.
That was a revolutionary movie. It was totally different.
Oh, I
The way
love
it was.
Pulp Fiction, dude. You're talking to the wrong guy about that. I think it's great. That's tough though. Because if you put Forrest Gump, Pulp Fiction, and Shawshank Redemption, like those
I'm
are
still
3 of the best movies you'll ever see.
I don't think Forrest Gump is as good as everyone thinks.
I think they got a good. I do like their soundtrack.
I'm taking the other two over that any day of the week, though.
Yeah. What do you think, Wes?
that I thought about it too. I don't. Forrest Gump's. I just watched it a couple nights. I hadn't seen it in like a couple years. I mean, it's good, but Pulp Fiction's iconic.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to choose now, I would take Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Of course, Forrest Gump's nominated. There's nothing wrong with being nominated. I just think Pulp Fiction's better. So
Right.
much better. Is it a travesty? I don't think so.
Right. Right.
It's not like some of these other movies.
Yeah, you're just like, what the hell?
Well, sadly, there's some years that there's no good movies.
Yeah.
And that's like 2015 on. I couldn't even look at 2015. I was like, you know what? Forget. I'm not even gonna look at this.
There was quite a few years where you look at that and you're like, it just doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, if I had to choose a movie between the two, what I want to watch right now, if you said, hey, do you want to watch Forrest Gump or do you watch Pulp Fiction? I'd choose Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Well, and that's probably the one we've seen more too. We've watched,
Right.
rewatched, and rewatched.
I mean, I've seen them both a lot.
Yeah.
Just to be honest.
And the care. It's
But I've seen
difference.
Shawshank more than both of them. So
Well, yeah.
What happened to Zed? It's dead, baby.
That's dead, babe. All right, Wes, what do you got at 3?
Oh, jeez. Oh, God. This is the hardest one, dude. I'm gonna go with All the President's Men, 1976 over Rocky.
Really?
It's such a good.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Rocky?
Tell me it's still good. I mean,
That's
there's a lot of good
crazy.
movies that year.
Are you would take All the President's Men over Taxi Driver then?
Taxi Driver?
Yeah, I would.
See, I had Taxi Driver on my list, but then I was like, it went against Rocky, so I had to take.
Right. I had the
No.
same thing, right? I
No.
took Taxi Driver
You know what?
off.
I could say Network is just as good.
Network is really good.
It's like the only movie to win 3 Academy Awards for acting. 76 was a great year.
It is a really good year, dude.
Any one of those movies could have or should have won. I'm just saying, if you watched All the President's Men, that is true stuff. That is, and there's some great acting, great writing. Redford's awesome. I mean, all the supporting people, are great.
It's got Dustin Hoffman and Robert Redford.
But come on, Rocky, the ending, he doesn't win. It's a perfect movie.
Oh, it's a good movie. It's a Best Picture nominee.
It's actually won Best Picture.
It won. I think it could go either way.
Yeah.
Wow. But it was such a good year that any one of those movies could have won, and All the President's Men, I think, is that good. Like, it's not like 2018 where all the movies are not good and someone wins. And you say, "Oh, that movie should have won."
I'm gonna have to go back and watch
so
it again now, dude. Like you're convincing me that I need to go back and watch this.
Well, what's funny is I was like Network and Taxi Driver before All the President's Men. But that's the thing. Think about that now. We get movies like The freaking English Patient and Shakespeare in Love and all these crappy movies because they're hoity-toity.
And the thing about
Rocky wins against All the President's Men.
It's so intense though.
Yeah.
When you start getting the last hour, it's just like when you watch it, I've seen it like 10 times. And I'm like, dude, it's intense.
Do you think it's because Hollywood has changed? Because maybe they were like more like not, because think about it. If All the President's Men was made nowadays, it would easily run away with the Best Picture.
Yeah. And they probably wouldn't even let it be allowed.
Spotlight is like All the President's Men. Spotlight, that one, and I think it was 25. That's a good movie, but that's hard to watch. That is a tough movie to watch, but still, it's like that. It's that good.
Okay, well, I'm sold, dude. I'm gonna go watch it.
I don't know though. Here's the test. Would you, if these two movies one was going to be gone forever, would you want All the President's Men or Rocky?
I don't know. I gotta watch it again now. But Rocky, dude, come on. Ugh.
But it's
That's
best
tough,
picture.
Wes.
It's not favorite picture. It's
dude,
best picture.
That's bold. That's bold.
Dude, I already know what you're gonna say, dude. We already know what you're gonna say.
No.
I could have taken yours, but that's no fun.
No, you don't even know what my number 3 is.
Oh, it's gonna be somewhere.
My number 3 is a 2002 movie. And Chicago was the winner.
Oh, jeez.
Which is easy kind of to come over. But I'm taking the Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers, because it's the best Lord of the Rings.
Really?
Even though Return of the King actually won Best Picture the next year, Two Towers is way better.
Yeah.
It's not even close for me. I've seen all 3 of them 100 times. And
Super extended cuts. Yeah.
I'll tell you, the Two Towers is the best Lord of the Rings. And in 2002, you're telling me Chicago is better than the Lord of the Rings?
No, that's ridiculous.
That's crazy. It's not even close. So there was other movies that were close. I was in the Jaws and I was in the Shawshank. I was in all these different things, but I'm like, there's no way I can let Chicago win a Best Picture over Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers.
Is Richard Gere in Chicago?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, God.
And there's a lot of people in it.
Renee Zellweger,
Catherine Zeta-Jones. But it's not, dude.
I agree.
It's not Lord of the Rings.
I don't care what Rings it is. Yeah, they all beat Chicago.
Here's my thing. Okay, I get it. Okay, Lord of the Rings, they weren't ready to do it. But wouldn't you think that The Pianist would have beaten Chicago?
I would have taken The Pianist over Chicago in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take it over Lord of the Rings, but I'd take it over Chicago.
I know, but I'm just surprised that the pianist didn't win, considering, that's what they like, and it's way better than Chicago.
Well, it's in their wheelhouse too.
Yeah.
Like those are the kind of movies they want to win. And Chicago was not good. All right, so that's my number 3. So we go down to 2, which is West 2. What do you got 2?
This one's easy for me. Goodfellas.
Oh,
It's Goodfellas because it's probably one of the best movies of all time. Even though Dances with Wolves is great, but it's Goodfellas. Dude, that movie, when I watched it when I was like a kid for the first time, the helicopter scene did me in.
yeah.
Like I was like, dude, there's a helicopter. No, there's not.
What year?
1990.
90. There it is. Okay, yeah.
Dude, honestly, as one movie, you could say it rivals as a little bit better than The Godfather. As one
Goodfellas?
movie.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I could put Goodfellas. Goodfellas was definitely on the list.
It was on the list, but it was hard because Dances with the Wolves
It
was
is
good.
really good.
I had it though. That was one I had on my list, but then I was like, well, it's just, there's others that are also
I
making
always thought that the girl ruined it, the narration. But I've seen it like 10 more times, and
Lorraine
actually,
Bracco is great at that.
you kind of I didn't like it. I thought I was like, why does she have to talk? But it does. It sets everything up. Really, it sets everything up.
Also, I'd like to do an addendum here. I need to switch because I forgot about a movie.
Oh, no.
I'm taking Pulp Fiction out and putting Shawshank at 3.
You have to.
Well, because I was gonna have Shawshank higher, but I have another movie that I just remembered. So I'm gonna put Shawshank in for Pulp Fiction.
I would take Shawshank over either of those two.
Well, I had Shawshank higher.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're
But
just moving
I just
it back.
realized I was like, oh
Okay.
man, totally forgot about this one, which is actually my number 1, which is stupid how I could forget it.
Well, we're on number 2, right? My number 2 is 1998.
Steve.
Yeah.
I'm not, and my probably is not the one you think it is.
Oh, really?
Mine's Life is Beautiful.
Oh, okay.
And if you haven't seen Life is Beautiful, which most people haven't, it is one of the best Holocaust World War II movies you'll ever see. And if you don't tear up, you're not a human being when you watch this movie. It's an amazing movie, and it's just so sad it's a concentration camp movie, but it just you just like feel it, and the Life is Beautiful title makes you realize like you don't love life enough. Like you failed in life because you don't love your life enough. And the whole movie makes you feel like that, but it's such a good movie. And there's a couple other good movies, which I think Derek's pissed off about, but Shakespeare in Love is not the movie.
God, that is like the worst.
Right.
It's got Gwyneth Paltrow in it. Dude, how's it bad?
But I'll tell you, if you haven't seen Life is Beautiful, it sounds like neither of you have. You need to
I've seen
invest some
it.
time.
It's hard to watch.
It is hard to watch.
Yeah.
But it really
it's like I almost had Dr. Zhivago in my top 5.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to watch.
But it just gives me that perspective. It gives you a lot of perspective, and then it has a good independent film feel, and so I got Life is Beautiful there.
Well,
Derek, two.
my number 2 is from 1998 also, but it's Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
Because that one is one of the most groundbreaking movies of all time. And it is like, I mean, you had World War II vets leaving because it was so realistic.
Right.
And that's why I cannot believe freaking
Shakespeare in Love
Shakespeare in
beats
Love.
out Saving Private Ryan.
That's just the worst. I mean, or Life is Beautiful. I could see Life is Beautiful winning Best Picture because that's what they like.
Right.
But like Saving Private Ryan was so iconic. No one cares about Shakespeare in Love.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I would
Well,
have
that
to
was
say that's one of the worst Best Pictures of all time.
It is. It well, obviously Saving Private Ryan was on my list, but I couldn't do two from 1998. But it's such a good movie. All right, here we go. Number one. And Wes is not gonna like this because I went into the future from all the movies we're talking about for my number one. Mine's from 2021. And Coda won, which was not a terrible movie.
I know her now.
But Dune,
I know.
dude,
I
I'm
saw it.
telling you, from a from our demographic or us who played Dune video games, watched Dune movies, read Dune books, they killed it. That movie was so good. And to not win Best Picture that year, they had the cinematography, they had the acting, they had the screenplay, they had everything. And so I have to go Dune.
Yeah. I thought
And
about that too.
it's crazy to think that's a number one, but the difference from some of the movies that we've been talking about, that's why I mean it's like some are closer than others. Dune
Well,
is so far ahead of the movies in that year.
well, the thing is, I haven't even seen Coda. I saw it at the awards.
It's
I
okay.
don't.
It's heart-wrenching. It's about,
Yeah, so I can't even.
the
I would
deaf
put
girl
Dune
and
top five if I watched Coda. That's the thing.
it's just it's not even close. That's the problem is it's so far ahead of who won Best Picture that I have to put it number one. So that's what I got.
That's a good number one.
What do you got, Derek?
And maybe it's because I tried to forget this one Best Picture because this year there were 3 other movies that were way better than this movie. And people love this movie, won Best Picture, but you know what? It sucked. And I'm going to tell you right now, 1997,
Oh, oh geez, really?
LA Confidential should have won Best Picture.
How did I not know?
It's 20 million times better than Titanic.
Oh man.
I thought, what?
Yeah. I mean,
Titanic is
It's
like,
better.
oh,
Yeah, you're right.
okay. Oh, we're gonna do a little sappy love story and da 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 da. And then like,
A
oh,
little sappy story about a ship sinking and everyone basically dying.
yeah, and then it's just dumb. And it's like compared to like LA Confidential, that story is so good. The acting in that movie is so good. But what is Titanic? It's a big budget movie with like
James
lots of,
Cameron, dude. Come on.
yeah, it's James Cameron. It's
James
one of
Cameron and Celine
DiCaprio's
Dion.
worst movies.
Well,
DiCaprio,
not
like,
Not the beach. Beach.
Yeah, the beach is pretty bad.
But I'm telling you, it's not one of his best acting
No,
movies.
it's not.
No, it's not. And the writing is not very good at
No.
all. It's not. I agree.
I enjoy watching LA Confidential because
Right.
it's such a good story and such great acting.
Yeah.
I
And
would take As Good as It Gets or Good Will Hunting over
Well,
Titanic.
Good Will Hunting was on my list.
I know. I thought Steve was gonna pull out Goodwill Hunting.
I was close, dude. I was real
And
close.
I was like, dude, should I do? I was like, I
But
could.
It's
I knew
Titanic,
somebody was gonna do
dude.
this.
In 97, I was pissed because Good Will Hunting didn't win.
Yeah.
As years gone on, I'm more pissed that LA Confidential
Yeah.
didn't.
I mean, it's a great movie. I love it, dude. It's just so hard to like because it's James Cameron, it's Titanic, dude. It's like it's super iconic.
Yeah, I would, if I had to choose, I would totally watch LA Confidential over and
Yeah.
over again.
You know what's funny though is I bet 90% of the people that you talk to probably haven't seen it.
Probably because, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
It didn't get any. Titanic got all the,
Right.
and
I think didn't they get supported? No, Robin Williams got. Oh yeah, Kim Basinger.
Yeah.
I gotta watch it again. I haven't seen it in years.
And you know what? Titanic really didn't do. Jack Nicholson won for Best Actor.
Well, I mean, as good as it gets is
Yeah,
great, dude.
So,
I
Helen Hunt
love
went
that.
for Best. They won Best As Good as It got Best Actor and Actress.
Right.
Robin Williams for Good Will Hunting. Kim Basinger for LA Confidential. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck for Screenplay. Curtis Hanson for screenplay for LA Confidential for, based on a book. It wasn't like Titanic went and just won all the awards.
No, but it's James Cameron.
Right. He got director and they got movie.
Yeah.
now I just want to watch the South Park about it.
That's that's a interesting number one, dude.
Yeah, that was. I just.
Titanic is probably one of the worst ones that did not. It was everyone thought it was such a great movie. It did not stand the test of time. You watch it and you're like, dude, the writing's bad. It's just
I thought my number one was out there. Like Derek, you just went you're like, I'm going all in.
Hey, if you guys haven't, go watch LA Confidential.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've seen it multiple times.
I've seen it like twice, but it's been
Russell
a long.
Crowe, Guy Pearce, Kevin
Right.
Spacey, Basinger, Danny DeVito.
I love Kevin Spacey in that movie.
Yes. Yeah. It
All
was
right,
like
Wes.
young Russell Crowe too.
Wrap us up here, dude. What's your number one?
Of course, it comes down. I'm the last one here. A movie in 1979 called Apocalypse Now.
Oh, I knew you were gonna do that, dude. That's why I took it off my list.
Kramer versus Kramer wins over Apocalypse Now.
Now, dude.
It's a good movie, but Apocalypse Now.
It's not even close, dude. It's not.
It's one of the best film movies of all time, but it's so off the wall. Marlon Brando. I mean, comes in like, what do we do to this guy? He's like fat. He pulls off such an iconic performance. And Martin Sheen is so underrated in that movie. Sometimes it's just the way he doesn't talk. He expresses just the emotion of how crazy this whole thing is. You had Lawrence Fishburne, like at 18 years old, one of his first movies. He had a great performance.
He wasn't 18 yet. He was like 17 when they came out.
He was 17? Yeah.
Yeah. He picked his age. Yeah.
And the ending is the last 40 minutes I mean, honestly, I wouldn't let my kids watch it. Like, even if they're 15, it's that bad.
Well,
It's so brutal, but it's so honest. And
I
Kramer versus Kramer is a great movie about getting divorced. That's fine. It should be nominated Best Picture. It wasn't a great year for movies that year, but still, Apocalypse Now is iconic.
yeah, I agree. I took it off my list because I knew you were going to put it on your list.
Everybody knew.
I knew it. I was
The
like, I know
listeners
Wes is
knew. They're
putting
like,
this
Wes,
on,
Wes is totally in
so I'm taking it off. But that's good. I mean, it's that's probably one of the ones where it's an easy flip. You know, if you're looking at those two movies, if you watch them both, you'd be like, this one's way better.
Yes,
All right,
I know you
so
said it, but I'm surprised, Wes. I really thought Aviator because of who it went up against.
yeah.
Well, that was going to be my number 5. But the thing about the Aviator, the one thing I don't like is they didn't do Vegas. How he created Vegas, and that's just that was. I mean, I like Aviator a lot. I think it should have won over what's her
Well,
face,
you gotta
Hillary
hear.
Swank. Because back then we all have to like Hillary Swank. So let's give her the Academy Award because it's Hillary Swank, right? Everything she does. Where's Hillary Swank now? Like, it's like she's you know, I
Just
don't know, like,
gone.
yeah, it was just that
Holly,
weird.
here's Holly's top five. If you want to hear it.
Yeah.
Number five, The Witness, 1985.
What
Yeah.
was it up against?
Let's see. 1985, Out of Africa.
No.
Al Africa's pretty good.
Number four, The Fugitive in 1993. That
Over
would be
Schindler's List?
over Schindler's List.
Dude, that's cold, Holly.
Number three, The Sixth Sense
Okay.
over American Beauty.
A lot of people dog on American Beauty, but I still love that movie.
Number two, The Exorcist
Ooh,
in
over the Sting.
1977, which also would beat out
Annie Hall and Star Wars.
and
No,
Annie
no,
Hall
no,
and
no, 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 no,
Star
no, no, no. That was
Wars.
1973. Exorcist 73 over
No,
the Sting.
77.
No, it's
Says-
not. The Sting it was made in 1973. The Sting won. The Exorcist was up for Best
Oh
Picture.
yeah, she had the wrong date there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't beat the Sting. I'm
Can't
sorry.
beat Sting. No, no, done. And The Wizard of Oz, 1939.
Yeah.
What did it beat out? Gone with the Wind won.
Right,
Yeah, I don't know about that.
right.
I think, yeah, a lot of those are hard to beat out. That's
Yeah.
like, when I was writing my list first and then I checked who it went up against. So here's my off the wall one. And then when I saw that it was up against Schindler's List, I was like, no way. And I can never do it. But Groundhog Day.
Yeah,
But then I was like, they can't do it. Schindler's List is way too powerful.
right. You can't beat. Yeah, there was so many. Like, Born on the 4th of July, Field of Dreams, both great movies going against Driving Miss Daisy.
Yeah.
Mississippi Burning against Rain Man, and like
Yeah,
you can make an argument for all of these, but they're so close.
Right.
they're close.
You have to
Yeah.
find ones that are further away.
Yeah. Lion in the Winter in 1968 is one of my favorite movies. And it didn't win. Oliver won. And Oliver
Right.
annoyed me. But still, I mean.
Want some more?
Yeah.
Or there was another one, A Few Good Men, Scent of
Yeah.
a Woman against Unforgiven.
Dude, that's tough.
Yeah,
It's
Unforgiven is so good though.
It is, but so is A Few Good Men
I
and
know.
Scent of a Woman. So
That's
great.
why it's
They're
so
so good.
close. Yeah.
I don't know. You tell me if you take the last 20, 25 minutes of Unforgiven against any movie of all
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what does it. That's the whole thing. Every movie's different. It's every year. That's why it's so hard to do, because even Rocky was so hard to do, because the last part of Rocky is one of the best scenes of all time.
I'm
But
sorry, dude. Like, no. Rocky still wins. Like,
well,
I
that's
know
what I'm
you.
saying.
I know you're like you didn't choose
It,
Rocky,
it,
dude. But sorry, you got to take
One,
Rocky. How do you not take Rocky?
I know
dude, I'll
what.
take Rocky 4.
That's tough, dude.
Oh, it was a brutal year. It's a tough. I mean, Taxi Driver, but it's so hard to watch. Taxi Driver is so brutal.
I had
Yeah.
Taxi
But
Driver until I saw one against Rocky. Then I'm like,
Right.
I can't touch Rocky. Here's one: The King's Speech, and I would have put The Social Network over it.
I thought about that
Oh,
too.
that's newer, right?
But and then I thought about
2011.
Moneyball over The Artist. The Artist is a silent movie.
Dude, Moneyball was in my
Yeah,
last few picks.
dude. I'm like The Artist. I watched The Artist here at a theater, and it's a silent movie. This isn't 1912. It was
Right.
2012. I get it. Maybe it should be nominated, but Moneyball's so good.
Well, also over the King's Speech, I had Inception.
Yeah.
Inception.
That was on my list, but
Yeah.
I did have Moneyball over the Artist. That was one of my last ones to come off my list.
See,
Yeah.
I'm not. I can see that, but I'm not a fan of the Moneyball because for me, it's lots of made up BS. But
The storyline's good though.
yeah, the storyline's good, but it's fictional. They try to make it
Right.
seem like it's real, but it didn't really happen that way. They just
Right.
made it. Billy Bean made himself look really good. But even that year, the Artist, how about The Help?
Right. The Help's
I
good.
haven't seen it. I haven't even seen it. Like some of these movies I haven't seen.
Well, and then this one is Argo winning Best Picture over Lincoln.
Right. I actually kind of like both of those actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Or even Life of Pi.
Life of Pi, Django Unchained, they're all good.
Yeah.
The other one is Hacksaw Ridge and Moonlight in 2016. I don't know if you've seen Hacksaw Ridge, but it's intense.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And Moonlight, it's just like what you were saying before. It's just one of those movies they want to win.
Right.
Like here's a play, an autobiographical play.
Well, like freaking Shape of Water. Come on, man.
Oh no. Yeah. No, you're right, guys. Rocky should win. I'm putting the Aviator in.
Dude, I can't even believe you picked it over Rocky.
Dude,
But
it,
it's all right,
no,
dude. That's
you guys
your
are right.
choice. That's your
No,
choice.
Here's another one. Green Book. I would rather have had Black Klansman win.
Right.
Green Book's good.
Even Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Or Vice, dude. Have you ever seen Vice?
I'm trying to think. Maybe
Dude,
not.
that's a crazy movie.
Man, I'm telling you though, once you get into 2020, it gets crappy.
Yeah, it is bad. It's real bad. Well, even 2010 is not great.
I'm looking at 2021 and I'm like, none of these movies I want to watch.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, Dune is so far ahead of all of the movies
I don't
in,
know. I would
in
take
the
Encanto.
2020s.
I'd take Encanto over Dune.
Encanto, come on. Top Gun Maverick.
Dude, even Top was like Top Gun's not. I mean, that year was weak too. It's like
All right, well that's it. Let's just give our top 5 movies real quick. We'll wrap it up. So let's see. Let me open this up. So top 5 movies that should have won Best Picture. I'll give mine. Number 5, It's a Wonderful Life. Number 4, Star Wars. Number 3, Lord of the Rings, Two Towers. Number 2, Life is Beautiful. Number 1, Dune.
I got number 5, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Number 4, Star Wars. Number 3, Shawshank Redemption. Number 2, Saving Private Ryan. And number 1, LA Confidential.
Wolf of Wall Street, Jaws, I guess All the President's Men, maybe possibly Goodfellas, and Apocalypse Now. Sorry, Sylvester Stallone. I was wrong.
Sorry, Sly. It's a good list though, Wes.
Here was one that would piss you guys off that I had, and then I took off because it was too close. I had Heat
Oh,
beating Braveheart.
yeah, but you can't be
But
Brave.
Heat's not nominated.
Yeah, it
That's
should have.
the problem.
It should have
It
won
doesn't
Best
matter.
Picture.
No,
Yeah,
that's
well,
the next one. The next one is the top 5 nominated that didn't get nominated.
Right.
We're doing that the next one.
But you can't be Braveheart, dude. Heat's great. Love Heat.
No, Heat's 96. Heat's the year the what's it? Derek, help me. It's not Braveheart, it's the year after. It's the English Patient.
Really? I got
Yep.
Heat was 95.
Yeah, but the Academy Award for 96. Braveheart's 94, but 95 Academy Award. He was 95 year, 96 Academy Award.
Whoops.
Trust me, I know. Because we were always so mad about the English Patient. When
The
like
English Patient.
I mean, he doesn't get nominated.
No, Braveheart's 95.
No, but it's the 94 year.
No, it's the 96 year. The Braveheart won Best Picture in 1996 for 95.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, 98, yeah, because Titanic's 90, yeah, okay. But I still thought Heat was
Yeah, English Patient was for English Patient here. Okay, Fargo. Fargo should have won over English Patient.
Fargo.
yeah, that's what I thought I was looking at
Yeah,
that.
English Patient won 96. Braveheart won 95. All right, well, we'll wrap it up there. Man, 2 crazy top 5s there. You get into those movies, we get wild.
Yeah.
People love it.
How dare Wes disrespect the Rocky?
Rocky. Dude,
Dude,
Stallone's gonna show up at your house tomorrow.
Well, Dave's gonna all of a sudden be like, "What was this? I've come out of my hibernation."
watch it. It's intense.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and like. We'll see you next time.